Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and I know we love always looking toward the horizon for new MMOs. It's addicting. It's always something to fantasize about, these amazing worlds, living, breathing, that we can jump into and slap around some faces. We're going to be talking about my pick for the most hyped upcoming, my top 5 action combat MMO. This is judging books by the cover, first impressions, etc. Just little snippets here and there that we've seen, but these games should be coming out either like this year or early next year, and I'm just really excited for that, and hopefully you guys are too. But I'm also a champion of talking about playing old games as if they're new games. And when we're talking about living worlds, well, they can actually be new games. They're constantly updated, or in the case of our sponsor today, Black Desert Online, sometimes they do fresh start servers. Yeah, I don't think it's really contentious to say that Black Desert is one of the most intense action combat MMO out there, and it is PvP oriented, and there's a lot of content to get through, but luckily, they're doing something awesome that more MMOs definitely need to do, especially in this genre, and that's season servers and fresh start servers. So this is going to work like this. For the next 3 months, you can join in and you have an easier time leveling up by 100% combat experience, 20% skill experience. There's no forced PvP. World boss healths are shared with regular servers, as well as there's going to be different events for these season servers too. And then actually when the season servers close, you get a graduation cap, you get emoticon, you get all sorts of goodie bags and stuff, and then you go into the regular servers more prepared and easier. I know it's not an upcoming game, but for a lot of new players, this is going to be an entirely rich and new experience. But if you already played Black Desert Online and you're looking for more goodness, well, here we go. My top 5. Let's keep the hype alive. Alright, so coming up first on my list at number 5 is a Korean MMO titled Odin, Valhalla Rising. And this is a gorgeous MMO that actually, you can play it on mobile devices. So that's pretty ridiculous, and we're seeing a lot more of these, but I'm going to champion this one because it's supposedly going to be more of a traditional MMO versus just an action RPG. It's going to have mounts and dungeons, there's going to be instanced content as well, boss battles as well, and party systems, like true online MMO content. Otherwise, it doesn't seem like there's too many classes, and we don't know too much about it, but it's actually going to be releasing very quickly. Apparently, like, it's expected to launch in 2020. It might be a little bit delayed because of, world stuff and things. But overall, I am looking forward to this game and many others just like this that have this whole cross-platform, cross-play. It's like it's a PC game, but it's also a mobile device game. Phones are awesome now. Then again, it is a Korean mobile MMO. We'll see what goes down with that. But I'm still looking very much to actually playing this spectacle of an MMO, Odin, Valhalla Rising. Okay, so number 4 on my list is going to be an anime AF game, Blue Protocol. And there's a few others like this, such as the Gran MMO coming out, but Blue Protocol is the one that everyone is talking about and playing right now. Hopefully this actually does come out pretty soon, and a lot of people are playing it, but then again, for us Americans, it might not. So that's a little bit of a disclaimer. Anyways, people are playing it, people are jamming into it, and what are their thoughts and feelings? Overall, pretty good. I'm getting some Monster Hunter inspired vibes. Obviously, it's incredibly Japanese as well. And we recently just got PSO2 as well on the Windows Store here in America. A lot of people are having fun with that. But I think people really want like that 40-player, open world, raiding, giant bosses, slapping people around kind of thing. Big giant explosions and dual-wielding axes flailing around. Just real Sword Art Online shit, you know what I'm saying? So Blue Protocol definitely looks like that, but I think it's going to be definitely more focused on dungeon diving. Otherwise, it does seem like it actually is inspired by Monster Hunter, especially with the competitive monster hunting races. That's pretty cool, that's pretty neat, and I've only seen that in a very few select games, maybe something like Dragon Nest with its dungeon timers. So this game is going to be PvE focused and totally, wholly, and fully, and a lot of you guys are definitely going to look forward to that, especially in a genre that generally is PvP focused. Now, coming in halfway on the list is a title called Frozen Flame. And this is self-proclaiming itself as a multiplayer survival action RPG. However, it does have 50 players, which is 10 more than Blue Protocol, and everyone calls that an MMO. So we're going to roll with this. It actually is a proper RPG with progression mechanics, with the magical pyromancy stuff going on, technology building, but it is a survival-focused game. Generally, these games can be very stagnant, and big guilds, especially in PvP games, can just kind of sweep the board, essentially. But this game is going to have a unique gimmick, which is kind of becoming more trending. We've seen a few games recently do that, try it, and more upcoming as well. It's a cataclysm. So a certain cycle, maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, but you actually have a world-ending event that you have to kind of progress through and solve and beat the game, and then, the game kind of resets. I think this is actually really good. It solves a lot of issues with the gameplay, and overall, I'm looking forward to that sort of ecosystem. This game actually is going to be built as if it's an MMO, but with survival mechanics. Now, in saying that, much like other survival games, you can have private servers, which I think more MMOs definitely need to, but the official servers do go up to 50 players online, but maybe on your private ones, you can have even more. And also know there is a giant, big monsters, big boss fights, and in the end, there is a giant, huge raid fight to actually kind of beat the Cataclysm. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to with this game in terms of proper actual cooperation, but also PvP, as well as there's like this sort of like orders and kind of like faction system that you can progress through as well. And the dungeons, there's dungeons, lots of different biomes, things like that as well, and taming, settlements building. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this game that you would expect from a proper MMO and a proper survival game, combining the best of both of those worlds. I'll be championing this one, Frozen Flame. Yo guys, number 2 is Starbase. Starbase is an FPS. It's a shooter. It's in space. It's a sci-fi MMO FPS with voxel destruction. But basically, it's going to be the most unique MMO that's upcoming. I actually put it on a few lists, including MMO that might save the genre. It's just so refreshing. Now, the voxel destruction's not macro. They're microscopic. Like, you can shoot locks off of doors. Not only that, but like, different parts of space stations that you rapture whenever you go and conquest them, big team battle style, right? You can actually take in pieces of those and kind of scrapyard wars a little starship or whatever and fly around and Star Wars it. It's looking pretty cool in a lot of different aspects, obviously, but I really do like how you can piece together the different gadgets and buttons and things to, like make the thrusters, and you do this and that kind of space engineering, kind of survival game-ish. A few of those allow you to make those machines and machinations with that, but this game also seems like it's going to perform. Like, it actually looks like a performance shooter, something that a lot of, which there's not many, but, the shooter MMOs don't really always do the greatest. I am very much looking forward to Starbase, and I think it's going to be a very refreshing game for the action combat subgenre of MMOs, but just in general, massively multiplayer online gaming. All right, and now our number 1 for my most anticipated upcoming action MMO is probably yours as well, and that's going to be Amazon Studios' New World. Now, a disclaimer, I actually did get to go to the studio twice. They paid for the flight and everything. I was actually able to play the game. Too much information that I cannot share, which I wish I could, but the game has evolved so much since then, and I do plan to actually play the game, cover the game, stream it. I want to enjoy this world with you guys. Let's make a guild. Let's jump into it. Let's do some PvP. Let's do the PvE, but in the end, the combat is what I need to talk about here specifically. New World. Basically, from the moment I saw it and played it, I knew it was going to be special because it has that Souls-inspired combat. And basically, you could just look through every MMO forum ever, and you're going to find tons of posts of people saying, I wish there was an MMO with Souls-like combat. That's Amazon's New World. Heavily inspired by that. And now it's obviously like taking on a little bit more of a fantastic approach, and we do have proper roles. You are going to have healers, you're going to have more tanky players, but in the end, it's all about that mechanical outplaying. And to kind of go with that flow, they also have 50 versus 50 locked PvP with the sieges. And then also something I'm really excited for is the wave survival. Like, the monsters are going to be coming in and attacking your bases that you build up all the time. So there's going to be action combat with that. And recently we actually got footage of some boss fights. There's instanced arena boss fights, which straight up look right out of Dark Souls. So I'm very and much anticipating the action combat inside of New World, and that's for its sort of arena combat, that's going to be for its dueling, that's going to be for its open world ganking and stuff like that, which, yeah, I know they've changed that quite a good bit, but there still is a faction kind of element to it. And then obviously like the 50 versus 50. This game seems like it's going to be a game for a lot of different unique players. It's not a game for everyone, but it's going to be for multiple different niches. Hopefully they don't spread themselves too thin, but in terms of people who just love action combat, that's just as a whole. That's PvP, PvE, different kinds of PvE and PvP, and PvEVP, I think New World's going to do us good. And whether it is good or bad for you or anyone else, it's going to be something new. And that means a lot today. I mean, that's why you're on this video. So yeah, it's my number 1 most hyped up, anticipated action combat MMO. And actually, I mean, chances are, by the time you see this video, it might have actually already released. It's coming out pretty soon, so yeah. But anyways, guys, that's it for my list here, upcoming action combat MMO. But I do also, once again, want to thank my sponsor today, Black Desert Online, which right now it is the uncontested action MMO that you should definitely try out. It's not that much money. You're gonna get a free 7-day free trial in the comments below. Check that out. And of course, they're doing the fresh start server, so the game is gonna feel new. It's gonna feel fresh. Join in with a bunch of other new players and experience it for the first time. And this basically can be something that's gonna evolve and be a new MMO every so often, every so season, new expansions and stuff like that. Even if you don't play for the action combat, such as myself, I actually love just using it as like a machinima machine, using it for a character creator, which is in itself an entire game. It's the best character creator. There's so much going on in BDO that's not just action combat, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of the best action combat as well. So thanks so much for allowing this video to exist. And thanks so much, to viewers like you, liking, subscribing, commenting, being keyboard warriors, all that good stuff, and just, keeping the hype alive. Much love, friends and family. I'll see you again next time.